Well, in media, journalists are oftentimes required to go beyond where most people are allowed. This all in pursuit of delivering to you, our viewers, the basic tenets of who, what, when, where, why, and how. This weekend's crash in Long Island, no exception. Tonight, our very own Amajal Knowles shares his experience of reporting that ill-fated crash, but through the eyes of much more than a reporter. Lloyd Allen has the story.
As journalists, it's always this story. You got to cover the story, but, you can't forget the human element of things sometimes.
That brings us to ZNS reporter Amajal Knowles, who this weekend told a story that tugged at the heartstrings of many, that of Sunday's plane crash near Deadman's Key that claimed the life of a young mother. But Amajal's story is anything but one through the eyes of a reporter. Rather, it's one of many on the ground that day providing help.
Sko and Barefoot, they had went out ahead of me to get some breakfast or look for some breakfast. And you would message me and ask me if I heard anything about, plane crash. We didn't hear anything, but as soon as you said that, like literally a minute later, Sko and Barefoot came in and said a lady was telling them about a crash.
From there, he, along with cameraman Roscoe Gibson and radio personality Ronald Sims, made their way to a track road off Queens Highway into an isolated marshland about 2 miles from the Deadman's Key Airport.
From there to the crash site, it was probably maybe 3 to 4 mile journey in, rough terrain, swamp, mud. You had to do all this barefoot, because obviously the mud and stuff, you don't want to get your shoes dirty.
Once they arrived to the site, the three were joined by a team of volunteers, officials, and victims. He says at this point, it was confirmed that at least one person had died.
People that were there were trying to, obviously get the body back to the police vehicles. And it may have been maybe 2, 3 police along with some other volunteers, maybe 3, 4 volunteers, I want to say. I think the natural human instinct in me kicked in and said, hey, obviously we're here covering the story, but, these people also need help.
With little thought, Amo, Sko, and Barefoot lifted the deceased back to the main road, an experience he remembers as both physically and emotionally taxing.
The young lady that passed away, I'd actually seen her the night before, and then my friend here was a part of the crash as well. Coming home and everything settling down, the adrenaline wearing off, and, starting to take in what had transpired, you kind of, be like, wow, that really happened.
Amo says nothing could have prepared him for this experience.
Something about this just felt more, surreal. Just having seen that young lady just 7, 8 hours prior. It's a rough job.
He says he is changed as a professional, but remains committed to the importance of his job.
I'm Amajal Knowles, and I'm a proud journalist of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.